Hello, delicious and magical human. Welcome to episode 86. As always, Sunny Bonani, Dumalang, Goeie afternoon, Bon dia. So yes, guys, I've been on this daily vlog journey and posting every single day without fault for the past 86 days as it stands here today. And it was so amazing because I came across this beautiful video on IG where this woman was talking about the importance and the power of recording yourself and doing it daily. And she made reference to a whole host of benefits that this initiates and starts to facilitate in one's life. So despite what the views are saying currently, I have full faith in this process, and I have, without a shadow of a doubt, started to see and witness the impact that these daily vlog recordings are fostering within my own life. So for quite some time now, probably for the last 2 years, I've been offering embodiment sessions. And as much as people keep referring to it as yoga, it's not strictly yoga. So if I have a yogi coming to one of my sessions, they more than likely will be quite horrified to see what some of the things are that we're doing. So that's why I try to stay away from positioning myself as a yogi. And that's taken me quite a lot of courage to do, because yoga is something that I fundamentally feel very, very comfortable in. And I've got certificates and got all of those wonderful pieces of paper and things to prove that I've done what I needed to do. And stepping into this area, which I guess is quite untapped, relatively new. It's so new that I'm still trying to figure it out myself. But I am allowing for the intuitive process and the confidence that I'm starting to feel within myself emerging. And I really do feel and believe that these daily vlogs have been a very important part of this journey. I've learned to slow down the way I speak. When I get a little anxious and nervous, the words just want to rattle off at 145 kilometers an hour. I forget to breathe. I forget to anchor in energetics. And the videos that I've been doing every single day have really made me come face to face and confront myself in the speed that I speak at, the tones that I choose to use, and the words that I'm consciously choosing to bring forth in every single conversation that I wish to have. There's a whole host of other benefits, but those, I guess, are the primary ones and the ones that are at the forefront of my awareness. So if you go back to some of those previous episodes, you may notice and recognize that I'm speaking so quickly. I visibly look quite anxious and agitated. The tone and oscillation in my voice is like so high, oh my gosh, I can't even deal. And the amount of times that I used to review the video after I had created it and feel, all of these uncomfortable feelings of being so cringe. And I became quite curious about that, as I check my son between my bosom. I became quite curious about that. Like, what made me view a video on a particular day and then view a different video on another day and have these completely opposite feelings. And it was quite interesting because on those days where I felt cringe, there were aspects and elements of myself that probably weren't really me. They were perhaps filters or preconceived notions or ideas around my behavior, my facial expressions, the tone in my voice, that I felt comfortable in sharing in that here now moment. And upon reflection and upon reviewing the content, there's that uncomfortable cringe moment because the person you're seeing in front of this camera talking back to you as you replay your content and hear your voice and watch your facial expressions and observe everything that's going on, right, when you do recordings, there's something there that's just like not clicking. There's a lack of alignment somehow. And I believe that's why you feel that uncomfortable, cringy kind of feeling, because the alignment is definitely not running parallel or in a straight vertical line or horizontal line. It's kind of like moving like this. And you'll observe some parts in the recordings that you make which will feel really cringe, and then other parts will be like, hey, no, actually this isn't that bad, you know what I mean? Or perhaps you'll review it straight afterwards and you just want to hide under a rock, and you'll review it the day after, having slept and calmed the nervous system, and you'll review it again and you're viewing it from a very different lens, I guess, you know? So yes, I guess today is just a reflection of introspection around my journey to date. This isn't the first time I'm tapping in and just doing a little bit of a litmus test, but I was called to check in for myself and pay homage to the person that I was back then and to this amazingly wondrous, powerful, creative, highly articulate human who is becoming right in front of this video and this screen and this camera. There's many things that I've come to improve within myself. When I started these episodes, I think the word was the default and go-to statement, especially when those nerves started to like ramp up, right? And because I was speaking so fast, I didn't allow for the permissibility of things to just ease and calm themselves down. It's kind of like I didn't want people to miss out. So I just got to keep narrating, talking, speaking, doing something. And as I'm saying that, I can actually feel my nervous system literally going. So capturing myself through these daily vlogs have truly assisted in helping me slow down the pace at which I speak and therefore think and therefore move, act, and behave. Pretty amazing, right? So those are just some of the small little tweaks and enhancements and adjustments that I feel are very evident within these day-to-day recordings. And I think it was one of the beginning episodes where I made reference to how these daily vlogs were really an anchoring point of self-growth. And we can only truly understand, witness, and celebrate our growth, I believe, if it's been tracked, traced, recorded, monitored, because the improvements that we make can be so minuscule, so tiny, and perhaps to the naked eye, so insignificant. But if you track it over a span of 2 months, 3 months, a year, you will evidently see that these tiny and what appears at the surface to be insignificant little micro habits begin to compound day after day after day. So even though you're perhaps only making 1% improvement on one day, 3% on another day, the third day you might suck completely and you feel like you now gone down into a -5. And then the preceding day, you find yourself growing again. And I also want to honor those moments where we feel like we've taken a step back and we feel like we've had to step back down the ladder, so to speak. Before, I used to give myself a really, really hard time about it because it's always, maybe it's the Capricornian in me, the mountain goat who's constantly wanting to climb the mountain. And when I used to feel these setbacks or steps that used to make me go back down the mountain, I used to get quite frustrated about it. I probably still do, still an element that I'm working through. But I've really become so appreciative of how those little back steps provide you with the opportunity to revisit something that maybe you may have overlooked before. And they also, I guess, allow for you to invite a sense of real curiosity around those aspects and elements of yourself which you still feel you're needing to develop and needing to foster and grow and perhaps gain a little bit of inertia with, And in a time and in a world where I really feel we are all so pressured to keep making more, achieving more, buying more. It's all about the more, higher, higher, higher. It's quite refreshing and humbling, and dare I say, encouraging to take a few of those steps down so that you can almost regain your composure, integrate the breath, and take a look at your surroundings in a little bit of a different light and with a little bit of a different perspective or lens. So because you've already stepped up those 2 steps, there's a couple of things that feel just a little bit more familiar. So you're able to ease into certain elements and aspects and allow for other components to become heightened, elevated, and stepped into. And I really believe that when we're taking those steps back and being given the opportunity to step back up again, that's what it's really, really fostering and allowing you to do. It's allowing for you to take those steps back up the ladder in a more present, conscious, integrated, and grounded way. So, as hard as we are on ourselves sometimes, I guess this is just a reminder to myself and whoever comes across these videos to, yes, keep honoring your process, regardless of what that looks like. Allow yourself to become curious about what's emerging rather than judgmental about it. And if you are truly dedicated to this aspect of growth and expansion and elevation and just living your best life, I guess, then know that that's exactly what's going to happen, provided you put in the time, you put in the energetic effort. Remember, the universe rewards action, not thought. So as much as you may think about things all the time, the physical and tangible action is what actually gets rewarded in this dimension that we're playing in currently. And what's the worst thing can go wrong? You take the action, it doesn't go quite as you were expecting, and then you tweak, adjust, modify, and try again. And you've just figured out a whole bunch of ways not to do something, or ways of bettering yourself, or things that maybe do work or don't work. And isn't that just like the purpose of life? To experience and re-experience and create and recreate, right? So, magical being, I can't believe it's 16 minutes and I've just been chatting about how fabulous this journey has been for me. And for those of you who have journeyed with me from my very first episode, thank you so much, you magical and wonderful human. I see you, I celebrate you, I honor you, and there's nothing that happens coincidentally. Everything is always in divine order, in divine plan, in divine energetics. So I have no doubt that there's been at least one of my episodes that have struck a little chord and perhaps spoken to you directly and offered a sense of wisdom, of contemplation, of perhaps profound transformative insight, or there's been a little bit of a juicy nugget in there somewhere to make the cogs in your brain and the lubricants in your body turn and start flowing up and down. As always, continue to sow those seeds. Allow for the flow of life to find you so that you may continue to grow, illuminate, and glow. Until tomorrow's episode, stay wondrous, stay magical, and stay delicious.